Hi all. So, yeah, I want to make an advent calendar. I'll wait till a few of you are in the chat, but mostly I really love advent calendars. I have some time this year near Christmas. Really surprised me that I would have any time at all, because I'm usually very busy with all the everythings that I do, and I don't usually get to do much Christmassy stuff. But I have an awful lot of Christmas fabric. I have a lot of Christmas paper. I have a lot of Christmas designs in my head that I haven't put into any of my shops yet online. And so I thought, why not do an advent calendar? But an advent calendar that you can participate in. So if you want to challenge me to do something very difficult, not too difficult, I've got to be able to do it within a, so I can make tops, pants, and skirts and things like that in a day. I can make costumes for dogs in a day, but I also have my business that I'm running at the same time, so I need to be able to do both. And I can make jewelry, I can make paper craft things, I can make bead craft things that aren't jewelry, all manner of things. So the idea is that I'm going to make an advent calendar, okay, I don't know, like maybe like a wall hanging that has pockets in it, and then from that I will put in a suggestion into each of the pockets and pull one out the day before and make it and have it ready for the next night when we video again. I don't know how that sounds to anyone. We shall find out. Yeah, so now it's down to planning the how do we get the suggestions? How do we create the criteria for the suggestions? Or do you just suggest stuff? I'd like to make it Christmassy. Excuse me, I'm just going to shut this door. And like at the studio. Oh, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, computers tonight. I'm just checking that everything's okay. Is that okay? Is that okay? It looks okay. All right, I'm going to see if I can bring a couple of people in here. And see if anyone wants to come and chat. And see if that makes it any easier. I'll just asking my friend Maddie. and I will see if who's my other friend, because I only have 2 friends. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what anyone thinks. If you want to, if this stream goes down and there's no comments, if you want to write a comment in the video, comment, the comment boxy thing. Yeah, feel free to do that. As I was saying before, I like the idea of being thematically Christmas. I do have a lot of Christmas fabric and a lot of Christmas paper at the moment. What else? You could give me a color theme if you like. So we'll have to work out if it's a wearable thing, whether it's a brooch or earrings or a t-shirt or a skirt or a dress or plaid suit or something like that. If it's not, then is it practical? Is it like a gift that you could give someone that they could use practically, like a bookmark or a pen holder or what else do I do? Or, you know, some sort of origami the whole thing. So like a card holder or that's why I need you, see? So I need you to give me some ideas so that I can work out what to do with all this spare time on my hands and all this fabric and stuff in my house. Not in this room. It will be. As the series goes on, I'll probably hang a lot of costumes up here. This room originally was my costume room, and my husband installed some pipes along the back here. I think there's 3 on the roof, and they are very solid. And we took them from I think it was the Opera Studio in Midlands in West Australia. When they folded, I bought a lot of their costumes. This Thanksgiving turkey costume right here is one of theirs. I've never hired it out. It's an unusual costume. But I have quite a lot of costumes of theirs. Very useful. I've used them a lot, mostly the sets of tails and things like that. Suits and 3-piece suits and tails and pinstripes and bits and pieces, but they were the really good, useful. I used them so many shows. And when we were there, they had all their costumes up on these poles. And so we asked if we could have them as well. And my husband went, yeah, I can pop them up in a spare room. Because at the time it was a spare room. And I don't think we had children then, I think. But they were sharing a room at the other end of the house. So didn't think about it. And then my daughter took over this room as her room, and now she's moved out. So we are left with grotto room, and I'm going to be Christmasing it up a lot, I think. Tinsel will be flying. And costumes will start to be hung up there so that you don't have a boring purple in the background with a tacky paper border that got ripped off. And part of it is still there, but most of it has gone. So yeah, I'll sort this out, and I think this is going to be a useful room for filming, which is where we are now. So yeah, in terms of hanging advent calendar, the ones that I have seen in the past that I like are in the shape of a Christmas tree, possibly in the shape of a bauble. And if you look at the commercial ones, they mix the numbers up so that you have to go hunting for the number that the day it is. The ones that I've seen as wall hangings have been numerically sequenced, so you don't have to go hunting. So I'm not sure which way to do that, whether I should numbers, put them on a big bauble, I don't know. I've seen some really groovy number stickers on my favorite craft, my favorite online craft shop has some really gorgeous 5 stickers. So they're obviously designed for making advent calendars. Pardon me for being croaky. I don't know what it is. I do have libation though. I beg your pardon, that's very noisy. Let's put that on that. Okay. I beg your pardon. I just got disconnected there for a minute. My brain did not anything else. Just looking at my phone to see if anyone is coming. They are not. All right. So what I will ask of you is please start thinking of what should be any of the days of the week. I think I have a YouTube channel, and I have an email, which is thelazycostumer@gmail. The Lazy Costumer is an umbrella for all the businesses that I have. So I have 3, and they one is costumes and alterations. I don't really talk about the alterations in my costume work, but local people like to get alterations, so why not? So that, and sewing garments. I have I have a dog costume business, which mostly deal with Scottish ephemera and kilts. So I also make snuffle mats and dog accessories, hats, scarves, bits and pieces like little beads and collars and what have you. But mostly it's kilts and hats that go with the kilts and bandanas. Oh, and snuffle mats. Then I have a business which deals mostly with giftware that I make, that I sew. So it's bookmarks, but they're different to most people's bookmarks. I don't think I've ever seen any bookmarks like mine. It's it's a humble brag. I didn't mean it to be. It's just that I like to do something. I don't bring people's ideas. Here's one that I haven't seen anyone else do, so that's my thing. So I make thematic bookmarks. I make jewelry, thematic jewelry. I love to work within a theme. It gets my brain working and inspiration going, and I keep thinking of new things. So, yeah, so brooches and earrings and necklaces, and I think scissor keeps for people who do a lot of embroidery or sewing, which is basically a scissor fob. So it's a cord with, or wire, in my case, wire with beads that you're going to attach to your scissors, and then while you're using your scissors, so you won't miss your scissors. It also feels really nice. It also looks really pretty. Those, and I make little things like pen holders that fit into mugs, book stands, so the soft, like a beanbag stand for a book, and I can sew them into whatever fabric you like, really. So if you've got a bent for, if your child has a bent for a particular, Star Wars character or Disney character, or soldiers, or they like butterflies or unicorns or books, wine glass charms. I make a lot of wine glass charms. Most things you can think of, I have made. I don't have them all listed in my shops, but I have made lots. They're very popular, actually. So there's that. So I have a lot of things that I can do, and I love a challenge. So if you can think of things that I haven't just mentioned that I could potentially make, so as gifts, or one of the things I do is Christmas decorations for trees of tartan. Tartan things. I do a lot of things for weddings. Garters, and I honestly, I don't have my catalogue in front of me, so I can't think of them. But wine glass charms, again, like Scottish wine glass charms, is a big deal. Bride and groom things. ring bearer. Things that attach to collars if your dog is your ring bearer. Yeah, that sort of stuff. So it's far-reaching. The things that I haven't got in my shop that I love doing is origami, serviettes. I'm sure there's a whole lot of things that I could put my mind to that I haven't ever made, and I'd love to. So that's the sort of thing I'm looking for as an inspiration for what to make. I'd like it to be dictated by other people because I know what I can make. I would rather have a challenge. I think that would be much more fun. So by all means, write everything that you can think of that you like. As I said, go by color, go by season, go by festivities, go by whether it needs to be worn or carried, or do you want me making bags? Do you want me making practical objects that people can use in the kitchen or in the lounge, or something like that? You don't have to have a concrete idea of the thing that you want me to make. I don't know if any of you ever used to see a kids show called Mr. Squiggle. But in Australia, there was a beloved character called Mr. Squiggle. He was a puppet. He lived on the moon, and he came down to Earth. And he had a nose that had a pencil in it. And he would come and visit Miss Jane, and she would present him with a card with a few squiggles on it, and he had to make something out of that. And more often than not, he was drawing upside down, presumably because the puppeteer was hanging over the edge of a board and looking down at what he was doing that way, rather than having tech that would show him front on what he was looking at when he was drawing. And so he would create these squiggles out of other people's squiggles, and then when you turn it up the right way or sideways or whatever he'd made it, the decision on, you would have a cohesive-ish picture of whatever he'd thought of. It was often octopuses, and people would do the wiggle squiggles and would just loop them in and make them legs. There were quite a lot of yo-yos hanging from people's fingers and noses from memory. Seagulls. But you get the idea. He was creating something out of someone else's partial visual suggestion. So that's kind of what I want to do. I want to make, I want to have some of the creativity on my side and most of the creativity on your side. So you give the suggestion and the or just bits of suggestions. So, Mary, I want something in aqua that's for Christmas that would go with a cat that could live in the lounge room, things like that. Need some food, or the kitchen that is bright and colourful and jazzy and very 80s looking. So, Mary, I want something to hang on the Christmas tree that is reminiscent of a good. And his favourite colour was such and such, and his favourite toy was a ball or something. Anyway, that sort of thing. So if you think of anything like that, please write it down, and I will see what I can do. So in the meantime, tomorrow I will have made up some sort of advent calendar so that we can full of things. And I will look forward to reading any suggestions. If I make up a page on Facebook, you could also write suggestions there. So that should be a lot of fun, and I really look forward to seeing what you can come up with, and then what I can come up with. And also, if you've got any ideas for themes or things that you want me to discuss on this YouTube channel, add those. And if you would like me to show you how to make things, I'm more than happy to do that too. Not everything that I make, because some of them I make fairly good money out of them because no one else has thought of them. But a lot of the things that I make, I'm very happy to pass on how to do them, and a lot of them aren't that tricky. They are very achievable, and I have found some easy ways to do some of the things that I do, and I'm more than happy to show you. So if you'd like to know about those sorts of things, feel free to let me know about all that stuff as well. We're coming up to half an hour. That's probably enough tonight. So if, as I say, I will make a Facebook group. It disappeared again. There I am. Sorry. That's not what it's going to be called. It's going to be called The Lazy Costumer. And I will do that. And I'll link back on this video so that you can get to The Lazy Costumer on Facebook if you'd like to write there, or you'd like to write here. Either way, and that way you can keep it all together and tidy-ish. I'm not very good at the tidy, but I'm trying. I'm scooping.